Now that you are brainstorming topics for your research paper, I wanted to introduce you to a technique called mind mapping. You may already be familiar with it. I originally used mind mapping way back when, before the internet, by using just a pen and paper, but I'm old. Now there's an online program called Mind 'em Up, and you'll see the link here in Module 1. I'll click on Mind Mapping Tool, Mind 'em Up, and this will launch me to our site. So the purpose of mind mapping is to explore how ideas connect with each other. It's a great way to brainstorm topics for an essay, and it's a great way to explore what the main ideas of the paper might be. You can use this just to explore connections and see where your train of thought leads you, or you can use this to build a flow chart or a more formal outline. So here's how it works. After you click on that link in the module, you're going to click on create a free map. And so this will take me to the home screen. This little bubble in the middle is my first bubble. This is where I would put my first main idea, or what I, might think my topic would be. So maybe I'm interested in geopolitics, and I'm interested in, political conflicts. So maybe I'm thinking of the war in Ukraine, causes and effects. Because Russia is still fighting in Ukraine, and, a lot of people are supporting Ukraine and think that Russia should not invade Ukraine. So I'm going to look into that. So there's my first idea. I'm going to use these tools over here on the top left to create new bubbles, or what they call nodes. And so this would be my root node. That's what this says over here. And then if I want to create a subordinate bubble to this bubble, I would go to Insert Child Node. So this is going to bring this little gray guy up. And now I can put in another idea that is connected to this one. So war in Ukraine, Russia wants to expand its boundaries. So they want to, you could call this imperial ambitions. You want to expand Russia. So yeah, that's definitely part of it. But what else could I think of here that I could look into, that I could consider part of my paper? Well, I am a student of history, and so I'm going to click on my root node again and make another child node. There's another little node. And I remember the USSR, which was the United Soviet Socialist Republic. And that used to cover part of Ukraine, I found out. And so, well, that's going to be a part of it, because that's an interesting idea. And then, this is also what I learned in my history class, that this is important for European politics. And so this invasion destabilizes the European Union. Or maybe it doesn't, but I think it does, and I'm going to look into that. So what you see here is the beginning of a mind map. I'm thinking of a topic. I'm thinking of the different things that contribute to this topic. Now, your mind map is going to be different, because that is what you are interested in. So an example of another mind map that I started is over here. I was thinking about, COVID is still an issue. We're still wearing masks. We're still getting tested. And so I was thinking of a student who is a kinesiology major. And I thought, maybe a kinesiology major would be interested in an issue like this, having to do with, physical exercise and working out, and how it can help us with COVID and help prevent COVID. So I was brainstorming some possible main ideas for a paper. And what I did here is I put working hypothesis in my root node. This is my thesis. This is my preliminary argument. And I thought, I'm going to prove in my paper that regular exercise prevents COVID. And so what am I going to look at to prove that argument? So a couple of the supporting details that I would use are these guys here that I already made. Cardiovascular activity keeps lungs healthy. The production of endorphins during exercise increases immune response. Over here, I thought also that, those who don't exercise, who are very obese, they tend to suffer worse effects from COVID. So these are just some thoughts that I wanted to put together that'll help me get an idea of where I'm going to go with my essay, with my research. So after I work on the mind map, then I'm ready to start Googling these topics to see what kind of websites or magazine newspaper articles I can find. I actually thought of this current topic because I looked at an issue of Kinesiology Today. That is a great place to go to find topics. See if there's a publication in your major or in the topic of your major. See what kind of articles are in there. So, in any case, this is a mind map, and I can continue making this map by just clicking on Insert Child Node, and I get another little subordinate bubble. If I wanted to make a node that is equal to this node, I'm going to highlight this node here, and then I'm going to go to Insert Sibling Node. And then notice I get another node growing out of the same root. So all of these gray guys are sub-ideas, subcategories of my larger working hypothesis. And so the mind mapping is a way to help us create a hierarchy for our ideas as well. We can record how they connect, and we can record which ones are more important, which ones are broader, and which ones are more specific supporting ideas. So once I'm done my mind map, I can publish it. So if you go over here to publish, you can share your map with me. If I click publish, I need to confirm that I accept their terms and conditions. And I hit start. This is the information that's going to be recorded with my mind map. I can change the title, I can change the description. This program is just pulling this information from what I typed in already. And so once that's done, I'll change the topic or the title or the description how I like. I'm going to click publish for 6 months. And after 6 months, this is erased. It disappears. That's because it's free. If you wanted to save it for longer, you have to pay for a subscription. So if I click publish for 6 months, it's going to process it. And then I can share on social media. I can send a link. I can embed a code or get an archival link. So what I think is best is these links are great to copy and then put into my assignment 1.1. So as long as you agree to these conditions, you can then share a link or embed a code into your assignment 1.1. That way I can click on the link. I'll be able to see your mind map and the process of your thinking. So when you're back in our module, assignment 1.1 is right after the mind mapping tool. So when you complete assignment 1.1, you're going to tell me what you want your topic to be, why you're selecting this topic, what you would like to accomplish by researching and writing on this topic, and include the link to your mind map so I can see where your thinking is going. Then I can really give you the best advice on how to hone your topic, how to make it more specific, and where to go next. I look forward to seeing what you guys are thinking of.